Hi everybody, welcome to Scrap Mechanics Survival. Yoshi powered, crash report, husband and wife. Boom, get out of here.
Yeah.
We've got something around, I don't know, 150, 180 hours in the game, and we are starting a new server for you. We are going to show you what we have learned on how you start a game, how you efficiently go through, the do's and the don'ts. Like, don't build a crappy car. So,
And
we are.
don't crash the ship.
What? Listen, you paid the insurance, right? It's paid?
I may have forgot to mail the check.
But, like, what do you
I
mean you
spent it on
forgot?
video games.
Oh, God. That's coming out of your budget then. Like, this whole thing is going to cost us so much money to fix. So, let's get the freaking buckets. There's buckets down here, and put the fire out. So, folks, there's always buckets down here. Multiplayer, there's one here. There'll be one over there by the farm. There's two options to fill. Action button, or you can just go underwater. And since somebody didn't pay our insurance, better get the fire out. You can only put out the interior fire. The upper fire cannot be put out. So, don't even try. We should just make Yoshi put out the entire fire since she doesn't pay insurance.
But you crashed it. I didn't crash it. Crash.
You were distracting me while I was flying. We won't go into how.
Uh. Keep it PG.
So once we get the fire out, we can start collecting everything inside to begin our journey down the road. Because down the road is where we want to go, not here at this burning ship.
So we have found it best not to hang out here for very long. We
Right.
just collect as much as we can.
Toilet paper.
And
COVID.
move on. Oh yeah, don't forget that. We can probably sell it on the internet.
Yeah, internets. Some pipes.
Look,
What am I
you're on
looking
the
at?
calendar.
Oh, you know how hard I had to work to get Mechanic of the Month?
Mechanic of the month. You're so smexy.
Man, that took me forever.
I'll take that.
Take these handles. You know, it's a long process to get Mechanic of the Month. They really do just ignore all of your applications.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Poor
sucks.
little thing. Yeah.
So all of these little boxes, smash the boxes. I'm just no comments. And these ember trees, get the embers, because those give us level 2 and level 3 metal later down the road. So we're going to get those. We will try to move efficiently and quickly and talk slowly through the process. Oh, fire hurts! Fire bad.
Fire.
So embers stack in 10. So things stack, things don't. Blocks, 256. Headlights, 1. Buckets, 1. Embers, 10.
Seeds are 20. Bags
20.
of soil are 5.
Yeah.
So on and so forth.
So now that we did that, we need to go over here to the farm. Ugh, we gotta follow Yoshi. She's gone. Unlike the insurance check that's still probably sitting on the counter.
Oh, I told you I spent it. Video games.
Ugh. Okay, so what do we got here, Yoshi? This is Yoshi is our farmer.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, don't hit me. I'm asking what we have here. I'm trying to be
okay.
nice.
Sorry. Okay, so we got bags of soil. So we're going to take all of those. Up here we have bags of seeds. And this one is our fancy bag container of fertilizer.
Yeah.
Over here we also have some bags of seeds, as well as take this whole cart apart because all of these are pipes that are perfect for building your vehicle.
And pipes cost 1 metal each, not scrap metal either. So it's good to take
You can
all
also
of this.
pick up all these blotches of soil off of the ground.
What's a blotch?
Blotch, I don't know.
Is that Yoshi speak?
Square.
Blotch. I like blotch.
And then everything in this little shack right here is also takeable. Takeable?
Yeah.
These
Are
are
you
great materials for,
taking it?
yeah. These are great materials for building up a little defense around your starting garden, or you could even use them to build your vehicle if that's what you'd like to do.
All right, we noping
I'm
out
gonna
of this
leave them.
place.
Yeah, we're out.
This place is crap.
It's not crap. It's just it's not where we want to be. We want to be that way.
Yes, this away. Well, I'll show them one thing real quick. So if you do decide to stay here, which again we're not
Oh yeah.
suggesting, here is the craft bot. I'm not even touching this tire. I don't want it. This is your craft bot. This is where your master battery goes. We're gonna go get the master battery that you would come back and put in here, but we're keeping it, and I'll show you what we're gonna do with it later. That's gonna be episode 2, but that's later. We gotta catch up to Yoshi again. She's down the road.
I'll wait for you.
No, just keep going. Just leave the husband behind. All because you don't pay insurance.
So everyone's initial world will always look like this. You'll have the crashed ship, you'll have the little garden area, and you'll have this walkway. I don't know what you want to call it, road.
Road.
And then you'll have 2 buildings. You have this building and then the one that's right over there. After you get past this parking lot up ahead, everything is random. Our world won't look like yours or anybody else's. So realistically, you could spawn and look at worlds and spawn and look at worlds to find the perfect one, where you have water by the workshop and buildings to loot by the workshop, you know, or if you're looking for a specific spot to put a base, like something flat. Yeah.
So each one of these arms that we're refining is going to give us 10 scrap metal, and later when we build the craft bot at the mechanic station, 15 scrap metal is going to give us 10. Oh, good, you didn't take that. 10 refined metal. So here's the battery, the master battery that you could go down and put in the ship that we're not going to. We're just going to take it and keep it. Buildings, or POIs, are some of the most important places to go. Food, component kits, circuit boards, and sometimes if you get lucky on full buildings that have completed rooftops, you can get gold boxes. We'll talk about those later. Teddy, you're doing it again. Sorry, Bobby. What are you doing up here? Get out of here. Oh shit, he's gonna hit me off.
Invited you.
Oh, that was
Sorry.
you.
That was me.
That was you. Alright.
Well, I guess we could talk about health regen.
Yeah. That's a good time to do it. And arms. Or, litter. So you talk about litter and health, and I'll get this arm.
Alright, so for your world, leaving these arms laying around, or like the tote box heads, it causes clutter. It's like littering in the real world. But for the game, it then has to process all of that. And that causes massive lag. I know that it can be annoying or frustrating to sit there and harvest the arms right now, but it's really important to keep your server clean. If you don't, you're going to have a lot of lag, especially with multiplayer, because multiplayer already does kind of lag.
Kinda.
Yeah, I know.
You see it a lot when you're in vehicles. You see it a lot when you're in vehicles with a lot of bearings. If anybody hangs out on the Reddit pages, you'll, or is interested, go to Scrap Mechanic Reddit, and you'll see Yoshi has posted a couple of things. A couple of our builds, I mean, not just things. Ruby is up there. She's our giant 4x4 on one of our other servers. I think she's got something like 40 plus bearings, and the more bearings on a vehicle you have, the more lag you can cause. especially if you have more than one vehicle with that type of suspension. So here I'll talk about this. I don't want this wheel. I
Oh,
don't really want this seed. If I leave them here, they will eventually despawn. If
I'll
I
take
do
the seed.
this, that's always going to stay there. If I pick it up and I drag it out of my inventory and drop it like this, now it looks like that one. Eventually, I think it's a day or two in game, those are going to disappear. If you don't want them, do that. Leave it. Just leave it on the ground. Never leave anything in boxes. And by boxes, I mean these. These boxes, when you come in, say this is chemicals or something and you don't want the chemicals, don't leave it in here. This box won't refill if it has something in it. Drag it out and leave it on the ground. But of course, I want a tomato. I'm Tarvin. I want the nums.
And you're starving because you were hurt and your health regen and use some of your food and water to replenish your health. Also, when you run all the time, you'll use more food and water.
Or if you're harvesting, you use.
Right. Or if you're harvesting, there's not a stamina bar, which is really nice, or you don't have to go to sleep for a certain amount of time, but definitely have to maintain your food and water or you'll die.
So your lift, it's one of your main things. It's your go-to. It's a little OP in this game, but I want to get up there. But I can't jump that high. We're just little people. We got funny looking hands and everything. So I'm just gonna hop on my lift. I'm gonna raise myself up. There's a couple ways you can get your lift back. One, you can click and hold or whatever your button is, and you can get it back that way. Or I can come over here and I can just place my lift down again, and it's gone. You can only have one lift down at a time for obvious reasons. And and you can see I just bumped myself
You
off.
fall down?
I did fall down.
Oh,
I fell down, go boom.
aw, poor little guy.
Poor little guy. I don't even have a helmet on. So, if you're not good at jumping,
Like me.
yeah, Yoshi's not good at jumping, and even
Oh,
like that,
or you.
or me, you can take your bricks, or wood, or whatever. Let's say we're gonna do this, we'll come back up here. Boom. Take my lift. Why don't I know how to put my lift down today? Put my lift right here. And we'll take my blocks. And I'm just gonna put my blocks. Come on. Right there. Now I have a bigger lip to jump to. Now I'm on the lip, I can take my lift back, and I can bring my blocks back. I'm a little concerned I might not be able to make this jump because
Yeah.
I'm having a jump problem today.
Maybe you
Well,
should.
I can
There you
make
go.
myself a walkway. And now
Perfect.
I can take my blocks back. We never go looting without a stack of blocks. Oh, I just got a tire I don't want. Well, I'll just drag it out of there. Gas. Alright. Excuse me.
If you do forget to take a stack of blocks, though, you could harvest a tree for wood, that is. You got a lot of tires out here.
I do. If I didn't want a proper loot and scoot vehicle, which we are going to be building in episode 2, then I would take them with me. But we are going to show you how to get a proper loot and scoot vehicle and not have to worry about crappy tires and crappy engines.
Yes, we are.
So let's talk
All
about
right.
corn.
Yeah.
So we got corn right here. You can see I have a carrot in the 4 slot. But let's talk about corn. Corn you cannot eat. Corn is food for walks. Walk is cow backwards. Feed the corn to the cow. Every 3 corn gives you 1 milk. Milk is invaluable in this game. It's an endless health and hydration resource. More hydration than health, but they stack in 5s. A 5 stack, if you're, say, half down on health and hydration, a 5 stack's going to fill you up. Corn is endlessly available. Oh, here, I'm full now. Here's one for you. Corn is endlessly available throughout the world. If you leave to go on a raiding expedition, you can leave without food. Go pick up 30 corn, feed it to a cow. Bam,
Bam.
good to go. You can also push them around, so you can push one into your base and you can have a base cow.
Base cow.
Base cow.
I'll wait here if you want to start heading up the road.
Okay. We will try to see and touch on the next thing we want to touch on and collect on our way up, which is going to be beeswax. And the reason we want to watch for beeswax on our way to our mechanic station is because we don't want a crappy loot and scoot. We want a quality loot and scoot. And for a quality loot and scoot, we need beeswax for tires. These rocks right here tend to be the formations, yep, that have beeswax on them. So I can put my lift down. Or I could fall off of my lift. I am just having the hardest lift day.
Oh, we'll be better.
Maybe, maybe.
Only got a couple seconds. Well, minutes.
So, you can pick things up from pretty far away, so that's good. You can also hit things from pretty far away, which is also good. So, 6 beeswax creates 1 regularly sized tire. There's also different sized tires, but when we're running back, we want to watch for beeswax.
Be like, oh, I have a ton of beeswax.
You don't.
That you don't. It goes really fast when you're making tires.
Kick the tires and light the fires.
Man, we got a, looks like a POI right by the wrench.
Oh yeah?
And a burnt forest.
Ooh, burnt forest.
And water.
Embers.
So...
Ooh, I got a servo. Or so not a servo, excuse me, but a bearing.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and a stack of 5. Nice. Stack of 5
Pretty
bees.
good roll.
Pretty good world. So far. Can always kick us in the face a little later.
Sure it will.
We haven't gone very far. Oh, man.
Give it time.
Give it time! Give it time! Never too late to be kicked in the face. Can always come across a hill that a level 1 engine can't climb.
That has happened quite a few times.
Indeed.
Quite a few.
What's your corn status? Oh, you already
my
hit these.
inventory's
Never mind, I
full.
can't help you. I wasn't going to help you.
Inventory's-
And there's our wrench. So I'm sitting on 20 beeswax. That's not too bad.
I have 8. I helped.
You did helped. Nighttime's a
It's
good time to go out and look for loot boxes. It also shows the flowers really well. And flowers are paint. Always need paint.
Oh.
Painting tip is things like tubes and headlights cost 1 paint per spray. But if you're spraying things like wood, you can do a 16 by 16 area with 1 spray as well. It's about to be sunrise.
Yeah, sorry if it's dark for you
Yeah.
guys. There's
It's
really
a little
no way to
lighter
make
for
a
us, but
flashlight?
recording is a little different. There's glow sticks, but it doesn't really do much.
And just does, you know, for like the area to throw it too, so.
Ooh, more beeswax. Oh, there's water right in front. Did you already say that? Was I not paying
I
attention?
did.
Oh, there I go with my listening skills.
Not listening.
Well,
It'd be a nice place to build a garden out here.
ooh, that place right there. Is that what you're talking about?
Farm. Yeah, like that
Yeah.
peninsula right out there.
Peninsula.
Then we'll only have to defend it from one side.
So here's the wrench. Everybody's wrench looks exactly the same. Um, sleeping quarters behind it. And why do we talk about sleeping quarters?
'Cause I die a lot.
No, there's another reason.
Oh, the battery.
And another.
Uh, for sleeping.
Yeah! So in the sleeping quarters, they're sleeping. Sleep on the bed. Respawn point saved. You don't
Top bunk.
you don't do that, and you dies. You respawn at the crashed ship. So in the center one, in number 2, at every single oh yeah, tumble. At every single one of
Oh,
these,
I
there's
thought you got knocked out.
there's another battery. So now we have 2 batteries. That first battery we found is going to be used for something special.
Stop it. Stop it, Kitty.
So you just hammer the doors open. Alright. So we will go put the battery.
It's the lotion on
So
the
you can
skin.
see right here, this is the same craft bot that's at the crashed ship that we won't talk about who crashed or who didn't pay insurance on.
I didn't crash it. I just didn't pay the bills. It's different.
I think they're equally as bad. We'll put the battery in there. So now Little Bot is powered, but if we come up here to the top, we can see that this guy is powered, which gives us the real craft bot. I have 70 of 90 required.
I have component kits. Here's my component kits.
Yeah,
Here's
gimme.
my circuit boards.
Yeah, gimme.
And here's my metal.
You gimme.
You should have enough.
What do you?
Better.
What?
I had 10 component kits.
No. Wait, what? How do you think?
I had 10.
You had 10 circuit boards. Oh wait, no, you're good. No, I'm misspeeching.
Oh,
Sorry.
math.
Math, it's hard. So yeah, so we have 140 of 90 scrap metal, we have 16 of the circuit boards, and we have 11 of the component kits. So we can craft our craft bot. This.
Start stacking stuff.
Oh yeah, we gotta clear our inventories. Okay, so I know we talked about not leaving things down on the ground in the world, but you gotta, when you get here, you gotta, because we don't have any storage chests here right now. So we try to stack things in an orderly fashion, as orderly as can be. So let's get some things. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get some things stacked in our inventories, and we will be right back with you. 1 second. We're back. As you can see, we did some sorting. One thing I forgot to mention is behind every mechanic station, we've got this lovely beauty right here. So we get 1 free good wheel. So that means we only need to make 3. But we got a good amount of beeswax for this. So we are set up to get going, and we will let Yoshi talk about the craft bot. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So this is the craft bot. You're gonna use this for everything. So to make tools, blocks, parts, literally everything. You can use the upgrade kits. You'll upgrade additional slots down here so that you can craft have things in the queue. Right now you only have 2 queues. And then when you get to level 5, it cuts the craft time in half. So when you're crafting a lot of items, that can really, really help. Um, we are running the quality of life mod. No,
No.
what's it called?
It's, what's that mod called?
I thought it was the quality of life mod.
No.
Oh.
You keep talking. I'll let you know what the name is.
Okay.
You just
Well,
show them what it is.
I'll show 'em. Okay, so the quality of life mod, part of the mod is the recycle bot. For this, it it really helps when it comes to gathering materials and keeping your world clean.
Survival recipe with balance.
Oh,
That's
my
what it's
bad.
called.
Uh,
It's really helpful.
yeah, so you can recycle like the tote bot heads that we told you about leaving on the ground. Later on, we'll show you the pit stops, as Crash calls them, or little farmers markets. But everything there you can recycle for cotton or metal or wood or plastic. Like it really creates a better playing environment. It doesn't change the feel of the game. It just helps you succeed in the game. One additional part of that is you can craft additional things. Like in the original Craftbot, you can only make fertilizer using seeds, but this gives you additional recipes. Same goes for gas. You can use corn to make gas, and it also adds in the bigger wheel and the biggest wheel.
Which you should never use because none of the bearings are actually set to use biggest wheel. We've used
Right.
big that's what it's called, right? Big wheel
Yeah,
before. That
bigger.
one works. But biggest wheel, the bearings just can't take it right now.
It's just crazy. In addition to those items, you can also craft things that you can find in warehouses. Now, the warehouses, if you know anything about Scrap Mechanic, you know that the warehouses, once you get in there, there's certain loot you can have, and most of it you cannot have at all, unless you're on the roof or outside. Other than that, you can't have any of these like cool parts that change the look of your builds or ramps. I mean, ramps for your base, that's super important. And being able to craft those without having to hack the warehouse or make it to the roof every single time, it it really adds a point to the game that creates.
For us,
What
it
am I
just
looking for
feels like
here?
it does feel like, and I think that's why Yoshi called it that. It does kind of just feel like a quality of life. It's like, well, if we want to level this out because we don't really like this bump, which we've done on our other server, we built this up so that we built up and over so our cars can come in on a flat surface. Well, then we
Hmm.
don't have to try to build some rickety, ugly looking stairs. We're able to use a ramp.
Hmm.
Whoop-de-doo. It's a ramp. And it's not like coming in here and going and looking for a ramp piece. It's it's metal. It's a metal block. And so you have to come in here and use, where is it? It's 15. It's 15 scrap metal for a metal block. It's not that bad. The difference is if you find like those inside inside the warehouses, there's giant blue boxes that look like this almost. They look kind of like that. And what this mod does allow you to do that some people call a little OP is do this. One of those equals 2000. So play the game how you want to play. We use it for things like making the recycler. The recycler allows us to recycle the Totebot heads for 5 scrap metal so we can keep our world clean instead of having to just drop them on the ground and wait for them to close up, or excuse me, expire. And we can make
It doesn't.
ramps.
Sorry, it doesn't take the grind away. It just makes the grind a little easier. You still have to play the game. You still have to, you know, play through the motions and harvest and go out and loot. Like it's not like you're, you know, unlocked everything and you just have free reign. You still have to go get those supplies to make what you are trying to make, a vehicle, a base, a harvest machine, whatever.
Exactly. So we will cut this here. Episode 2 will include the building of the Loot and Scoot that will have the good tires and a good engine and 2 seats because, yes, Yoshi will come with us. Get out of here.
Aw.
And it will also include a storage box. That's why we're talking about quality here. Quality life and scrap mechanic survival. So we will cut that. If you like the video, click like. If you'd like to, like. If you'd like to, go ahead and hit subscribe. There's a bell if you want to be notified when we do post something new. And until then, keep the shades drawn, and game on.
Bye.